After the highs of last season's fourth-place finish, Aston Villa are celebrating an opening win at West Ham. They beat the Hammers 2-1, thanks to goals from debutant Amadou Onana and John Duran. Post-match reaction on Villa's win now from midfielder Youri Tielemans.
Youri, well done. Competitive second half, dominant first half for most of it. So how do you feel it was the performance overall, and especially what made the difference? Because it was very tight in the second half.
Yeah, it was very tight. Second half, first half as well. West Ham are a good team, and I think to come here and the win, especially first game of the season, is massive for us. And yeah, it gets us off to a good start, and now we can look forward to next week. But we can enjoy this win because it was a tough battle today.
Yeah, in terms of analysing the game, especially analysing the second half, how do you feel Aston Villa were able to get the win? Because you had good chances, but West Ham did too.
Yeah, I think it was just about being clinical. And we did that. We scored one more goal, and at the end we had a massive block on the line from Ez. So yeah, that was really important for us to get a win today.
That midfield, of course, Douglas Luiz was always going to be a big miss for the fans, but the midfield behaved really well. So what type of adjustments do you feel you had to do, if you had to do any, with the changes?
No, listen, it's just about the system, and the players coming in have worked really hard to get the system in, and credit to them. And Amadou, I know him from the national team, so it's a bit easier for me to find him. And yeah, the manager has been working really hard on the training pitch, and we've just done what the manager asked of us. So we are very happy, and it's really good. Looking forward.
Yeah, he was very good today in his debut. So what's been positive? What's been important for him settling in?
I think just to play his game. He's got loads of confidence, loads of qualities, and he's just exposed all of that today, and hopefully he can carry on and become even better than he is.
And how do you feel the team is ready to face the challenges of a new season, especially with the expectations around the team? It's a big season for you guys. Yeah,
I mean, like you said, there's loads of expectations around us now. We finished fourth last season, and it's not by miracle, because we work really hard. We have a good system in place, and we know what we have to do on the pitch, and then it's all about winning games, and today we did that.
In which sense do you feel the team is more mature this season?
No, listen, all of us, we have experience, we have a good team, we have some young players coming in, some new players, like you said, but like I said, we work really hard on the training pitch. We've had a good pre-season, and we're ready to go.
Well done.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, he's smiling again, Youri Tielemans, and Villa continue that feel-good factor from the last campaign, Tim.
Absolutely. I said before the game, if they can emulate fourth place like they did last year, it'll be a very successful season again, because everyone's going to be stronger. I think Man United will be stronger. Chelsea, we don't know what's going to come of them, but they should be stronger. I think Tottenham will be competitive again. You know, you normally got the top three, you know, the Man Cities, the Liverpools and the Arsenals. It was interesting listening to Tielemans' interview there. He talked about systems and talked about training pitches. That's what Unai Emery is all about. It's about getting the new players, integrating them into the style of how he wants to play, and then taking it onto the pitch. And today, for the first game, I thought they'd done very well, especially away at West Ham with a lot of new signings.
Exactly. It was the maturity of that performance, Ian, I suppose, that stood out, because that had tried and silence a very optimistic West Ham crowd, right?
Yeah. I think maybe they weren't optimistic until they saw the team. I thought they might have seen more players, but saying that, I think Kudos was top man for West Ham today. But with Villa and what they're going to have to do this season in respect to the Champions League and how that's going to take its toll, the way they started that game and the way they controlled the game, and then to have substitutes coming off and impacting is exactly what they're going to need to do this season. So the way they started, and like you say, Tim, and like Youri Tielemans was saying, that they are very well drilled. So if they don't get injuries, you have to fancy them to be in and around it again.
Yeah. I suppose if Unai Emery made the players aware, the fact that this is a new era for West Ham, they're going to be up for it, we need a strong start. Scoring 4 minutes in is the perfect one, isn't it?
Absolutely. And diligence on set pieces as well. You know, I think Onana wasn't marked, you know. He lets him come in there. Mikel Antonio there, he sees he's got him, but it's too easy. Just brushes him aside. Goalkeeper doesn't really fancy the collision. So he stays on his line, even drops back there. And Onana, 6'4", just attacks it, and it was an easy finish for him in the end. But I think Bailey does brilliantly there. Just, if you see him, number 31 just eases.
That's all about the
defender.
Well,
but that is all part of the plan. That's diligence. That's working on the training pitch. It's not all about the fluid in-play possession and how they're going to move when they've got the ball. It's about dead balls as well, and working on corners, working on set pieces, free kicks. There's no stone unturned with Unai Emery. That's why he's such a good manager wherever he goes.
No, I was just going to say, in respect of Tielemans' quality, you saw him in his interview at the end there, talking about how well and how hard they work, and that looked like a very well organised corner. Again, you know what I mean? The goalkeeper there is totally... I just think he's in no man's land because the ball's so good. And then you've got someone like Onana on his debut attacking a ball like that. You've got no chance.
Yeah.
Brilliant goal.
And when he does it like this, with the physicality that he brings, he's going to take some stopping,
Well, of course he is. But then again, you know, if he's making runs like that, just, you know, unstoppable really for the size of him and what he's capable of doing, and you're going to get that kind of delivery, it's going to be very hard to stop. Even if he had one of the main dominant headers of the ball, whether it's Mavropanos or Kilman, I still think they don't stop him now. I don't think they stop him. The ball's too good.
I think at £50 million, people were thinking, hang on a minute, he's only just been at Everton. But as a signing, was it a no-brainer for you?
For me, yeah. I think that Unai would have done his due diligence with his recruitment team, but he would also have spoke to Tielemans, and he would have said, I'm quite looking forward to having a look at your player you play in the national team with, Onana. You look like you gel well together. And he would have given him a true opinion of him. And I think we didn't see the best of him at Everton. I think he was trying to do too much. He was getting forward, he was going wide positions. He predominantly stayed in the middle of the pitch today. I think because the manager drills him, he tells him what he wants, and he asks him to do what he's good at and not what he's not good at. Sometimes at Everton he was trying, because he's a good lad and he wants to do well for the side, he was trying to do everything. And at times it's too much self-indulgence. But he's fitted seamlessly into a system there. Yeah. But I think it was an easy transition. For once, he hasn't got to worry about settling into the Premier League because he's played many, many games. He's playing with someone there in Tielemans who he plays for the national team with. They've got a good relationship.
And understand.
Talked about it in the interview there. And he fits into what Unai Emery wants. I mean, I think it's a wonderful signing. Yes, it's a lot of money, but it might prove out to be very cheap. But it's all about drilling them on the training pitch. And that makes, when new players come into the team, it's seamless. You know, and you can use your whole squad. Yeah, they have different characteristics, slight characteristic changes, but fundamentally, he tells them how he wants them to play, and they stick to it. If they do not stick to it, they do not play.
A word for John Duran, who came up with the winning goal. He's having to vie with Ollie Watkins for that starting berth up top. And we know what Ollie did last season. 19 goals, 14 assists. Yeah. But whenever he's called upon, he does tend to come up with the goods.
Well, again, this is a good finish. The way he gets himself in the position, and then the way he just drops himself out of it. Like here we're thinking, hang on, hold your run a bit. But then he doesn't go anywhere. He just eases in, then goes forward. And then it's all about the contact when he's finishing there, Manish. And that is what, as a striker, you want to do. You want to make sure that if you're coming off the bench, you're coming off with some bad intention. And then if you get an opportunity, you just try and do the best you can with the opportunity. That's what he's done. Yeah. You know, he's done very well with the opportunity. And when you look at the way that Villa started this game, I know that Ollie Watkins has not long come back and he's started this game, played for an hour. But I think if he starts this game, I think that they might get a little bit more, just simply because of how sharp he was and how sharp his movement was.
OK, more reflections from the guys in the studio after the break here on Matchday Live. Welcome back then to Matchday Live. Let's get more post-match reaction to Aston Villa's winning start to the new Premier League season, beating West Ham at the London Stadium by 2-1. I'm delighted to say, scoring on his debut for Villa, Amadou Onana joins us pitch side in the capital. Amadou, very well done. I imagine that was how you dreamt it last night.
Definitely. I think couldn't have had it any better. Delighted to have scored on my debut with the fans, the atmosphere. It was unbelievable, to be fair.
That was a tough game today, I imagine.
It was. I think the West Ham boys were definitely ready. They played a fantastic game for me. But we fought really hard as a team with the ball, without. Yeah, I'm just happy about the global performance tonight.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little earlier. Unai Emery, was the message across that, this is a new start, a new era for West Ham, new manager, new players. They're going to be excited. So you'd want to quieten down the crowd. Was that part of the dressing room message from him?
Yes and no. I think we would just focus on the main target, which was just to go out there, give our best and go home with the 3 points. And that's job done tonight.
Ian, I know you've got a question.
No, I was going to say, it seems like you seem to fit straight in there, Amadou. It makes a massive difference having a teammate like Youri Tielemans in there for you. Does that help you?
Yeah, definitely. I think Youri's been in the game for quite long now. Obviously, we play together at Belgian national team. He's someone that definitely makes it easier for me. Tries to help me in every possible way. So thanks to him.
Amadou, you were outstanding today. A manager's dream performance.
Thank you.
Are you looking forward to performing at the top of the league rather than the last few years at the bottom of the league?
Yeah, I think it's been a quite tough experience at Everton, but I enjoyed my time there. Learned a lot about myself as a football player, also as a man. Now it's a new step in my career with a manager that plays totally different football. He's very ambitious. The whole club is very ambitious. Every player in that dressing room wants to win, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Amadou, you always seem to play with a smile on your face. We heard from Youri Tielemans. He says you bring this confidence, this energy to the team. Just describe how it's been settling into, I suppose, a club like Aston Villa that's very much on the way up.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's quite a big family club, Every single player in the dressing room has welcomed me in the best possible way, try to make things easy for me, trying to help me with every single detail, every small thing that I have. I can speak to my teammates, team managers are there. Everyone is there just to, make me feel at ease. And it's been fantastic first couple of weeks.
Amadou, is the manager, has he tailored your game somewhat? Where at Everton you were trying to do everything on the pitch. Did he give you certain instructions just to tailor what you do?
Yeah, definitely. I think that helps as well, going out there, knowing your task, what you're doing with the ball, without, knowing your positioning, It just helps, and I think the manager gives you as well so much confidence, and it just makes everything easier.
Finally, Amadou, this is a big season for Villa. 8 Champions League midweek games to negotiate. You want to no doubt replicate what you did in the league as well. Do you have a personal target as to what you can do with your new club?
Go out there every single day and be the best version of myself. I think that's the best way to help my teammates. Obviously, I think even with the starters and with the depth we have on the bench, we can do unbelievable things this season. But we just have to keep our heads down and keep working every single day to be there at the top.
Well, you started in the best possible way. Well done, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Well done.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
No problem at all. Aston Villa goal scorer on his debut.
Yeah, brilliant.
Amadou Onana. It comes across brilliantly well.
Yes, it does, yeah. Like, we're talking about somebody who knows the Premier League very well. As much as it sounded really weird at the time, but, he's been playing in and around the bottom of that Premier League. He's playing at the top end now with players that he can go forward and do his stuff. He's got great ability. He's got great engine. I know Arsenal were interested in him at one stage. I could see why. And when you look at the quality of player he's got around him, for him to go on and, like Tim said there, to go on knowing exactly what he has to do, it seems very easy for him.
And no doubt Emery's been helped by having a pretty open checkbook. He's signed some big-name players, 8 in all, but he's lost some key ones. Douglas Luiz, Moussa Diaby being 2 notable ones. If he can continue in the same vein to last season without those 2, that would be pretty impressive, right?
Well, if you was the man writing the checks out, would you not trust this man?
No.
From nowhere, he's taken them to fourth place in the Champions League. You trust him. So with the players like Douglas Luiz, who have left the football club, they've left and Diaby, because he wanted them to leave, because he wanted to bring other players in to hopefully take them forward, and players like Onana. So everything that man wants to do, if you were the person writing the checks out, let him do it, trust him.
I think that when you look at Douglas Luiz, fantastic player for Villa as well, same with Diaby, but I think when you look at what else Onana brings, in respect of his goal threat as well, his aerial threat as well. I think he just brings a little bit more to what Villa need right now, because they've got Tielemans who can probably do that Douglas Luiz role. So he brings a whole different entity to everything.
And finally, from a West Ham perspective, How do the fans, what do they need to reflect on today? Do they need to be a bit patient? Because this is going to take time, right?
I think I was expecting to see a little bit more energy, a little bit more passing, quick pace, and then you see the substitutes come on and give the fans something to shout about. But it was very slow. I thought it was quite ponderous. They didn't feel that dangerous, apart from Kudos. And I think that something's going to have to change quickly in respects of, and I know it's the first game, I don't want to get carried away with it, but I think the West Ham fans will want to see a little bit more urgency about their team and want to see the new signings, I think.
Yeah, and that's it. He's got key talent waiting in the wings right now.
Well, listen, you're talking about Aston Villa back in Unai Emery, that he's certainly been backed at West Ham. You know, Lopetegui, they give him the players, so it's up to him to make them tick. Still early days.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where we leave today's Matchday Live. Tim, Ian, thanks very much indeed for your company.
No,
hope you've enjoyed it. That's the first Saturday of the new Premier League season done and dusted. Join us for Sunday's 2 games and Monday's 1 game. The 3 fixtures still to come.